Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Jeff and today we're going to have some fun playing Magic, and today we are playing Dollhouse of Horrors combo deck. So Dollhouse of Horrors is a sweet card that I'm really excited to try out in Standard right now, and there's a couple ways to make this deck work, but ultimately I'm going with the Golgari version. Let's go ahead and just dive into what this card does and what I did to build around it. So Dollhouse of Horrors, 5 mana artifact. You pay 1 and tap it, exile a creature card from your graveyard. You create a token that's a copy of that exiled card, except it's a 0/0 contract artifact. It's in addition to its other types, and it has this creature gets +1/+1 for each construct you control. So it becomes a construct, one of the constructs that Karn makes. So they get +1/+1 for each construct you control, not just for each artifact, which is a little bit different from that. Only for constructs, which does change. Like just having Dollhouse of Horrors won't make it a little bit bigger. Just having other things won't make it that much bigger. But it does get haste until end of turn, and you can activate it as only as a sorcery. So the only real benefit of actually being able to get anything here is making sure that you can actually get value from playing out that certain creature. So there are some creatures that get value right away, like some things that you're totally fine being 1/1s, like Prosperous Innkeeper we're already getting as 1/1. If we can just do that every single turn, that actually gets to be quite a bit of value. If we have creatures in our graveyard every single turn where we can start getting value, have creatures entering the battlefield, gain life, we can still play out other stuff and just spend 1 mana each turn to keep using our graveyard to go crazy. And that's basically what Dollhouse of Horrors does, is that once we get it on the battlefield and we have at least 3 creatures in the graveyard, we'll be able to play the rest of the deck, making sure that we can get more creatures in the graveyard and just keep having this engine going that the opponent will have to deal with. And that should win us the game, especially if we're throwing out some big threats on the battlefield. If we have things like Cultivator Colossus, which has the ability to already have its power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control. So this actually says that that already has that line of text, and so that's its base power and toughness. Or not space power and toughness. It just says that its power and toughness are each equal to those. I'm not sure if this becomes a 0/0, like which one will actually, if it'll overwrite it. I believe that the new one will overwrite it, where it still gets to have the base power and toughness of equal to the number of lands you control, and then this creature the creature will get +1/+1 for each construct you control. So it'll also get a little bit bigger with that. So you actually get a little bit more of a buff. It'll be hasty hitting in. Vorinclex will get a little bit bigger as well, or it'll become a 1/1 with trample and haste. So it's not amazing, but it works really well with Toxrill, which I'm really excited for. So a 7 mana 7/7 at the beginning of each end step, put a slime counter on each creature you don't control, and creatures you don't control get -1/-1 for each slime counter on them. So this is kind of like a board wipe over a couple of turns. So if we can keep having these in the graveyard, keep going off with it, we can do a lot of stuff. The hard part is that we can't fill our deck with too many of these big expensive things, otherwise we can't make the rest of the deck work. We have to find ways to mill cards into the graveyard. We have to find ways to ramp up the Dollhouse so it's a little bit quicker. We can do all this stuff. We can also then ramp up to our big things if we just have them in hand. And then also you have to play a deck that doesn't run too many mythics, because I've already spent way too much money on mythics this one. I don't have a third copy for Toxrill right now. I guess I do, but I don't want to use it for that. And so I try to build a deck that actually works for everything that we're doing here. There's a lot of new cards that are really sweet from this one. We have Undead Butler, which mills cards for us. We have Mulch, which mills cards for us and helps us get lands to hand. We have Dig Up, which can go find either a basic land in the early game, or we can pay the 4 mana, the cleave cost, and get the Dollhouse of Horrors that we need, or Binding of the Gods, whatever we need to make sure that we can survive. We have Dryad's Arrival to make sure we can bring Dollhouse back from the graveyard if we've milled over too many, and we can flash this back from the graveyard too to make sure that we can make our combo start going off. Bala Ged Recovery in the mana base as well. And then otherwise just good creatures, good things that will be awesome. Old Rutstein is actually the one that I'm really excited about to see if this actually works the way I'm hoping for. So it's a 3 mana 1/4. When it enters the battlefield or at the beginning of your upkeep, you mill a card. If it's a land card, mill this way, you can carry treasure. So potentially when it enters the battlefield, you mill a land, you get a treasure. And then the beginning of your upkeep, you mill another land, you get another treasure. This could potentially on turn 3 ramp you up twice with this creature, and then consistently throughout the game. That's kind of my hope for Old Rutstein, is that it becomes like another copy of Prosperous Innkeeper to get us treasures to ramp up to stuff a little bit quicker. But you also have a chance of milling a creature and only getting an insect, or creating milling over a non-creature spell and getting a blood token. So there's still definitely that possibility with all those, and hopefully we get the 2 lands. The other ones are still good, and it can help us discard cards from our hand to make sure we get stuff into the graveyard. So Old Rutstein is just the perfect card for a reanimation style deck to ramp up to stuff, do everything you need to. It's sweet. So let's go ahead and dive into the gameplay, see how this does for us, and wish me luck. Here we go. All right, up against MTG Pleb, and I like this. This is a pretty good hand. We have Dig Up to go digging for something. I'm actually not sure if I want to save that to be able to search for our Dollhouse. I want to make sure that we find it. Digging for a land here is always a good way to go. We haven't been able to find stuff yet, but I think that you should use this on turn 1 if you have it. That's just, it's the right way to play, I think. And we have a couple of things to mill with. Hopefully some ramp with Toxrill. Should be pretty good. All right, Undead Butler. Start a millin'. Lots of lands. Mulch might be the better way to go just in general. Make sure you hit the lands that you're looking for. Putting out a body on the battlefield is always nice, but not needed. Florahedron. All right, so Rutstein, let's see how this does for us. Mill a card, hopefully get... All right, so we get an insect. We'll go a little bit aggressive. We can start going a little bit wide here. All right, come on, Dollhouse. Lair of the Hydra. All right, another creature. That's fine. We want those in the graveyard anyway. Let's go ahead and mulch. Looking for the revival now to be able to find our Dollhouse. And the Dollhouse. Are they thinking of countering this? Negates it. I'm kind of okay with that. All right, swing in for 3. And Old Rutstein, I like this card. It's a good card. Like, it's not busted, but it's one of those cards where it's like, you will get value. It just does stuff all the time. You play it out there. It's a cheap cost to be able to keep doing good things. And just these insects up against certain matchups is like, alrighty then. I like that. I mean, I'd like to be able to find something else to play at some point, but you know. Whatever. Down to 12. I mean, this is starting to add up. This is a decent board. They're gonna have to start blocking or play out something big. If they can get up to a coma, Froggy Myth is big. Really, they're gonna attack? Has trample, they can exile lots of things. What is this for each creature exile this way? All right, puts lots of counters onto itself. That's bad. Come on, Binding the Old Gods now. Dude, there's a lot of graveyard exile right now too. All creatures gone. Yay. Good for us. And we got a Dollhouse and we can't do anything about it. No. Oh man. All right, so let's go on black here. So end step, we get -1 counters onto everything. Froggy Myth will still be kind of big, but we get to kill the blockers with Florahedron. So I think it's this one over the Cultivator Colossus. Oh, I forgot about the slugs too. Yeah, create some slugs whenever stuff dies. Dude, Toxrill's awesome. All right. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, whenever a creature you don't control with a slime counter on it dies, create a negative 1/1 black slug creature token. Dude, just Old Rutstein into Toxrill is a pretty fun way to go. That's lots of 1/1s out there. Got some Death Thatcher dudes. Sure. Sweet. Awesome. That is the way to go. Is it each end step? Wait a minute. I thought it was just our end step. Is this every end step? Each end step they get -1, -1. Dude, Toxrill is busted. Okay, that's cool. I like it. All right, up against the guy with a question for the name. Why thick? It's a question I ask every day. All right, we're gonna keep this hand. This is pretty swell. Play out of forest, pass the turn. Yeah, play out the swamp, play out Innkeeper. Pass the turn. Next turn we have 4 mana for Mulch and Undead Butler. Mill 7 cards. Well, find some lands, mill 7 things that we want to. And hopefully we find a dollhouse. I've been looking for that dollhouse. It's eluding me so far. Go to combat, swing in. We'll mulch. It's a lot of cards to hand. Like that's good. that's a pretty good way to go. Yeah, I don't think I need to ramp up the Vorinclex this time. It could be nice, but we're just gonna hold off. Binding the Gods the next turn. Keep playing our lands. Try to find the things we're looking for. In theory, we should be able to find either Dig Up, a Revival, or Dollhouse. Either by top decking them, drawing them, getting a Revival and Dollhouse in the graveyard, or finding a Dig Up that we can then cleave and find the Dollhouse. Like that's the goal. We have, I think, 8 ways to find stuff right now. That's awesome. All right, swing in, down to 17, pass the turn. They take a Vorinclex, and then we get another one, and we actually want them in the graveyard, kind of. It's a lot better with Toxrill. Actually, maybe I don't want as many Vorinclexes as I've been prioritizing here. Down to 15, pass the turn. Memory Deluge, cool. All right, so very likely they're going to be holding up counters at some point here. We have to be a little bit careful. They know we have bindings, so they're going to hold off on playing out any permanents. All right, so we're not going to play out the Huntmaster here. We're not going to play out Vorinclex. I'm pretty sure they have counter spells, so let's just put off enough pressure here. They're going to have to play something at some point. Ooh, there it is. All right, so we have the Revival. We have the Dollhouse in the graveyard. We found what we've been looking for this whole time. Down to 13. Pass. Hopefully they don't counter the Revival when you play that. Unexpected Windfall. I forget that's an instant speed play. That's so good. I forgot all about this in the Judgment, the Cinder's Judgment deck I built. I was like even looking for stuff like this, and I just totally missed it. This is exactly what we needed in that deck. All right, holding up 4 mana. 6. Forces us to discard. We have plenty of good stuff. Those are 3 really good cards. I'm fine with whatever one they want to give us. Now that they're tapped down to 3 mana, Vorinclex has a good chance of just doing lots of damage for us here. Do I want to go for Dryad's Revival instead and just keep the pressure going? The hard part is I guarantee this deck is playing some counter spells. And so telegraphing the Dollhouse is a little bit annoying. We came to play the Dollhouse though. That's what we're doing. Bring it to hand. Hopefully, don't have more discard. Hit in for 3. I mean, we're getting in for enough damage. They're gonna have to answer this in some way soon. Expressive Iteration. Yeah, if there's a Hall of Storm Giants, that's not good. They have 5 mana up right now, 6 mana. All right, so counter spells most likely. I'm going to try to play Dollhouse of Horrors. We're not quite to the point where Vorinclex is just lethal, but we're getting close to that point, so I can hold off, I think, a bit. Is that an Alrund's Epiphany? Let's use Thirst. All right, slows down our clock, so we do need to do something here. All right, Dollhouse of Horrors. Please don't have a counterspell. Only 3 mana. Saw it coming. If this sticks, we should be able to win the game. Divides by 0. Okay, that's fine. They get to learn, find something else. Hopefully not Alrund's Epiphany here. That'd be annoying. Down to 8, pass the turn. Haul the Storm Giants and start doing quite a bit of damage. But it taps them out completely. Sciences, gains some life. Finds a land. And still had enough to Epiphany. Of course they did. Of course. Iteration. Finds an Epiphany and a land. Plays out the land. Wins the game. Oh, stupid Epiphany. So good. All right, now. Opponent just passes. You definitely want lands in hand to make Cultivator Colossus actually work. We're going to try for Dollhouse again. It's what we came to play. I want to do it. We always have Vorinclex for later. If they use all their spells for this kind of stuff, yeah. It is really annoying, though. Finds a mascot exhibition. Swing in. Double blocks. We get a creature back to hand, which we can go grab a Old Rutstein, I think is what I'm looking for right now. Yeah, because this is still just a clock in general. I could go grab one of the more expensive things, but we have expensive things in hand. I want to play something now when we have the mana to play it. Force him to use more cards each turn and not just keep having answers. All right, get a treasure, pass the turn. Just having more expensive spells is not going to help us in being able to actually win the game. We need to be able to play a big spell and something small on the same turn to be able to actually have a chance. If they want to go for the mascot exhibition, I'm actually pretty okay with that because that means that they're tapping down. Yeah, not going to do it. Hall of Storm Giants can actually come out and block. Does it have as a ward of 3? So I can still kill it with binding. Blood token as well. How much mana do I get to hold up here? All right, so go to combat, swing in. Hall of the Storm Giant is one of the things that we're most worried about. They let 2 in. Down to 7. Man, if I can stick this Dollhouse, it's going to be so good. We just can't do anything else besides that. Look, we're still not really on the upper hand. We're still in good shape, though. They haven't really built up their board of answers. They're just keeping the game slow right now. We've already attacked in, so we don't need to do this. Oh, it can only activate as a sorcery. All right, so we do it now. So Toxrill or Huntmaster. I think it's Toxrill because we have actually let's go Huntmaster this time. It's entering, we are getting 2 creatures. The flip side lets us attack in with extra guys as well. So yeah, it's just good. If they aren't playing spells, it's even better for us. And we'll pass the turn. Hullbreaker Horror. Okay, that's fine. So every time they cast a spell, they can bounce something of ours. Oh, that's a little bit terrifying. Okay, Expressive Iteration bounces. The Huntmaster's really not that great now, but they've already cast a spell, so it's gonna not go to nighttime. Okay, that's fine. I would love to get to a point where we have multiple of these out in the battlefield too. That would be so sweet. Because then they start growing fast. Yeah, Leer and Hullbreaker. Yeah, this is a combo that I've been terrified of for a while. This is so good because you can keep casting stuff from the graveyard, bounces the back to non-existence. There's a bunch of cheap creatures, cheap things they can cast. Everything's sorcery speed though. There's really not a lot of instant speed stuff. Like that's where they really need stuff. So they had Divide by Zeros. Okay, pass to my turn. I might actually just want a treasure here. Yeah, that's nice. Lands are good. So we know that the first thing's going to get bounced, or anything important is going to get bounced here. All right, so binding first. The only thing they have is Divide by Zero. Oh, that was from hand. So, what's the right way to do this? You can recast the Fading Hope now. Dude, how do we beat a Hullbreaker Horror? Like sticking a Cultivator Colossus is a pretty good way, but yeah, how do we actually do this? Divides by zero, returns a wolf back to in existence. Yeah, I think this one's over. Once they landed the Hullbreaker Horror, I believe it's game over. All right, they get to learn because Divide by Zero actually resolves and targeting something. More mascots exhibitions, or no, teachings of whatever. All right, so play out Old Rutstein. They can't actually play out a spell this time, so we do get to stick it. Not that it matters. Pass the turn. We really need our creature lands. I'm not sure I put him in there now that we're missing him so consistently. I might have forgotten to put in some creature lands, or at least enough. Yeah, having like Lair of the Hydra here to buff everything into. This can only bounce non-creature, non-land permanents. Fading Hope can bounce a creature though. Discards 2 cards, Old Rutstein, and I think 1 binding will probably be enough. Colossus, I'm not sure if it'll ever stick with how much stuff they have. They're running out of instants though a little bit. Oh, exiles the whole graveyard as well. Dude, go blink. What the crap is that? That's such good stuff. With flashback as well. I believe that we're dead now. I think it's just we're never going to be able to keep up with the value they have now. Yeah, if we're having to discard so many times, yeah, we're done here. It's over. It's over. Oh, that was brutal. Up against nothing, man. And if we can find a land, getting into Old Rutstein is pretty sweet. We have some mill, we have ramp, we don't have any of our combo, we don't have the dollhouse. I can definitely get a better hand than this. Let's try for it. We have Dollhouse of Horrors in our hand. That is what we've been looking for this whole time. So yeah, Vorinclex to the bottom. Chasm go. Mulch on turn 2, which is perfect. Help us find lands. Lots of revivals. That can be good here, I guess. Wow. Well, I hope you guys like redundancy. What? 3 Rutsteins. All in one, man. Randomness can be crazy random sometimes. That's for sure. I probably will grab one of those back just to have something to do if I don't top deck anything worthwhile here. Or maybe I find Mulch. There's a land. Land is good. Rutstein is pretty sweet. We have Bindle Gods next turn, which guarantees us for the Dollhouse of Horrors. So maybe it is Mulch just so I can mill more stuff over for the Dollhouse. Yeah, I think we grab the Mulch. Pass the turn. I'm trying to set up the better turns here. We can get out Dollhouse of Horrors most likely on this next turn. Hopefully, or sorry, not the next turn. We hopefully go Binding Old Gods and then find a land within the next 2 turns so that we can play it out and tap it down with Binding. That's the reason we're playing Binding, is it's the perfect turn 4 play, so then we can have potentially 6 mana when we play Dollhouse of Horrors and make everything in the world better. And now we have it. Sweet. So Binding. Kill one of these fellas. Please don't have Snakeskin Veil. Dude, every single time I play against a green deck, they have Snakeskin Veil every single time. Like, it's a ridiculous amount. That it shouldn't be that much. And they have the answer for our Dollhouse of Horrors. I hate you so much right now. So stupid. What? Just have everything. All right, that's cool. All right. Yeah. Perfect. Sounds good. We don't get the ramp, but I'm fine with that. All right. I can Mulch and Revival back the Binding the Old Gods to have more removal quicker. But we're just going to play out the Dollhouse. Hopefully don't have another one of these guys. Pass the turn. And then hopefully we can find a Toxrill, whatever, the dude. We can check out MTG Assistant to see what we got here. By the way, yeah, MTG Assistant down description below. It's an awesome spell. You guys got to check it out. Or awesome assistant here. Toxrill, that's how it's said. All right, sweet stuff. We have things to do. Throw this out on black. All right, so we Mulch. Trying to find the best possible thing to find here with this. Revivaling back one of the other guys could be pretty sweet here too. So all we have is Old Rutsteins right now. So yeah, we'll go Undead Butler. More blockers is important too. There's a Toxrill. There we go. And the game is on. No attacks. Everything gets -1 counters onto it. They only get -1 for as long as Toxrill's on the battlefield as well, though. So that's an important thing, too. If they kill it, everything gets buffed. So we don't want that to happen. It's going to happen. Okay, he goes to combat. Swings in. Get some more manas. Block here. This will actually kill this guy as well at the end step, which will give us more slug tokens. Do I want Prosperous Innkeeper just to gain life? I think so. I think we need to go Prosperous Innkeeper here. Don't have removal. No. Lame. Alrighty. Well then. Alright, how much mana am I spending here? So I have Prosperous Innkeeper. I can go grab Old Rutstein, and that's it. I could go find Binding. It's not good enough here. Alright, Innkeeper. Get a treasure. Grab Rutstein. It'll mill over something right away. Unfortunately, we won't be able to use it right away, but it'll still be good. Gain some life. Potentially get an insect here. Treasure. What can I get back? So revival, grabbing another Dollhouse of Horrors could be fun. We don't have the creatures to actually make it work yet. So yeah, we grab a binding. Try to slow everything down. And just try to survive this next turn. Yikes. No attacks, pass the turn. So Innkeeper we can have die, we can bring it back to be able to gain more life. I don't really want to do that. This is the hard part. You have to get multiple of these on the battlefield for it to start working. We're probably not playing enough removal here. Take 5. We've already seen Moon Rager's Slash. Yeah, we can't let them have lethal with just a spell. We need to be able to find something really good here. That's the only hope. You are our only hope. Alright, so Binding. Does it have Trample? No. Kill the guy that gives other things haste. If they have another... Dude, the amount of times people have Snakeskin Veils is so ridiculous. You don't typically have that many Snakeskin Veils, people. Normal people don't do that. Another Prosperous Innkeeper. No, we have a higher chance of getting more blockers with this guy, so we have to do that. Gain some life back. Mill a card. Our 4th Rutstein? You gotta be kidding me. What the junk? I finally get Dollhouse out, and this is what... Oh, magic. For the love of donuts. You can't keep doing this to me. I probably should have just found Mulch to try to dig for more stuff. Like, that probably would have been the better way to go with this. Instead of finding Binding. Alright, so block. Block. Down to 4. Staying in the game. We got this. Stop giving me crap. Okay. Deck. You're not doing a good job here. Alrighty, so we get to mill something over with a Rutstein. How much mana do I have? I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So enough to grab another Dollhouse and do it again. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna grab a Rutstein. Oh, maybe we go Prosperous Innkeeper and then Rutsteins gain more life. There's no guarantee we get a creature here, but we've not had creatures in forever. We'll try this. Okay, we get a chance to mill. Come on! I know that there's other better stuff in the deck. All right, Dollhouse of Horrors. I probably could have gone for another binding there. But this, in theory, is going to be better for us overall. To have more things to be doing. All right, so Innkeeper. These become 2/2s now. That's a thing that's somewhat important. All right, next time we're mulching or finding, I don't know, whatever else we can. Gosh darn it. No attacks, pass the turn. Up to 6. Moonrager Slash. Please don't tell me I have another one. Okay, come on. At least we're keeping them off of having... Is that game? It's not quite game. We go to 1. Oh, the other one gets buffed. Yeah. Okay, good game. For the love. If we could have found anything other than all of the Rutsteins. I mean, we did find the Toxrill one time, but that was stupid. That was so dumb. Up against Ren 1. And yeah, we'll keep this one. Dig up. I think it's better to try to wait for the Dollhouse here. I mean, maximizing plays. I have this addiction to utilizing mana wherever I can, and it's always annoying. We have Dryad's Revival. We have ways to mill over stuff. We should be able to find Dollhouse easier now. Fast turn. Making sure we hit a land drops to get the binding is a good, important thing. Ram session. Innkeeper. Pass the turn. All right, Undead Butler. There's a Dollhouse. Okay, perfect. Bala Ged Recovery and Dryad's Revival.
By the look of you, this should be a quick job. I can teach you a thing or two.
All right, we're gonna go for ramp first. Just make sure Kaya goes away.
I'll find another way.
Tokens can get real out of hand. We should be able to outpace them at some point here. All right, so I can just play out Huntmaster is probably the right play here. But instead I'm going to go for yeah, Dryad's Revival. Grab a Dollhouse of Horrors and play out Rutstein. Playing it before we attack in because they might have tokens they flash in or something like that. Okay, down to 21. I have a Kaya tokens deck all ready to go that we're gonna be playing here soon. I have like 10 decks that are all really good, and I don't know which ones to put up first. I try to keep it really interesting this first little bit when we're starting out with new sets and new whatever. So yeah, I got some good stuff for you guys coming. What creatures do I have in the graveyard? 0 creatures. Bummer. What ways do I have to actually like make things happen? Awkward. Huntmaster. Down to 18. Play out the land, pass the turn. We'll just hold on to this Dollhouse of Horrors for now. Sorin. Okay.
You can deal with my servant. I'm busy.
Okay, what creatures do I have here? All right, so go to combat. I actually want one of these guys in the graveyard just for free value right now. So you can attack there. Everything else is going in. Because I'm fine with stuff dying right now. Gems blocks the Huntmaster. This doesn't have Death Touch, right? Yeah, it's not Death Touch. Okay, there they go. Draw some cards. Tokens.
Tragedy befalls us all.
All right, how much mana do I got? All right, let's try this with the Butler first. Probably should have done this before combat. Come on, give me flipping creatures, yo. Give me something. All right, we're gonna go ahead and recovery, grab a Mulch, I think, here. Binding Old Gods would probably be the smarter play, but we came to get stuff out of the graveyard with a flipping Dollhouse. All right, that's some good stuff to grab with Dollhouse. Sounds good. That's the turn. It takes so much to be able to find anything. Professor Onyx, cool, good for you. Sacrifice the most expensive thing.
Open your books to page 17 or something.
Unfortunately, they're scooping right now. Like, we keep not getting there until it's too late. Sedgemoor Witch. Cool stuff. All right, Dollhouse Horrors. Activate. Vorinclex is pretty sweet to stop her Professor Onyx, but we're gonna put all of our stuff towards that right now. We don't care about the life total. We want to play as long as possible. That's all that matters.
Great. So much for a new start.
Dryad Revival. Is there anything I want to grab from the graveyard here? Do I want to use mana to do that? Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. So we'll go ahead and grab a Binding right now. All right, come on, make a lot of pests so then we can kill them and make a lot of slugs. I believe in you. They probably have a handful of removal. I mean, like, with everything they've been playing, they should. Had a slime counter. We get a slug. Yes. Digging for the board wipe. I don't even care. We're here for fun. But in the snow. There it is. All right. Sounds good. Yeah. It's what we're doing isn't smart, but we have an answer for this already. I actually think I'll grab the other Undead Butler to keep milling more stuff over. So, there we go. Whatever. Looking for more board wipes. We're looking for more Dollhouse of Horrors now. That's the dream.
Dire times call for dire tactics.
What's the ultimate here? Deals 13 damage, gains 13 life. All right, Binding. Kill the Sorin.
Excuse my.
What do we have in the graveyard here? Vorinclex seems pretty solid against what they're doing. Let's get more info. Being able to stop Planeswalkers from actually having lots of loyalty is pretty good. But Huntmaster's just so good. We'll hold off on land. Having lands is actually good for the Colossus that we can end up playing. So we do want to start putting lands in hand so that we can play them out and just draw cards, find more card draw out of this deck. Down to 25 cards left in the library, so for the Rude. And it's exiled. I can't get it back with Revival. All right, we have more in the graveyard. We're fine. Mihik Massacre kills everything. Yep, that'll do it. Gain some life. Yeah, let's go ahead and take action here. I think I actually might just play out this Vorinclex now. That's another way to deal with this. Just like, we have the mana. We can start trying to win now. We've done the Dollhouse thing. It's not as good as I was hoping for. Oh, there it is. There's another one. How much mana does that leave me? All right, we're just going Vorinclex this time. All right, down to 10. They go find an answer for Vorinclex with this. They bring back... They're going to bring back a Planeswalker. Watch this. They're going to bring back a Planeswalker and not realize that it's not going to have any loyalty because of Vorinclex. Blood in the Snow is probably their best play. So it brings back Professor Onyx. It only has 2 loyalty on it. They can't actually activate the -1 to kill Vorinclex. They can't actually +1 because Vorinclex won't let it go on. Dude, Vorinclex is so brutal. It's kind of disgusting, actually.
Let's go digging.
Oops, yep. And Phono scoops it up. Yeah, there you go. Okay. We got there. We had we had the revivals to go grab Binding Old Gods. We had the hard lock here where we could kind of go off with it. I was just kind of playing around. It was just a matter of finding something good. But yeah, overall, it kind of works. It does stuff. All right, so we played Dollhouse of Horrors, and it was a lot of fun. Was it really good? I think that it's going to be really, really powerful if you're grabbing the right creatures. I was trying to play in standard and just try to grab the best things possible. Tovolar, Huntmaster, Toxrill, and Colossus, I think, are all really, really powerful things to be getting from the graveyard. I was trying not to spend too many wild mythic cards on this deck and try to keep things that were already going to be played or kind of cheaper things in general. This is kind of one of those, like, slot any card here that does really cool stuff. But you can also just have creatures in the cheaper end that might be the better way to go. Just like have Dollhouse of Horrors just be extra free value, play elves, play whatever else, and just once you have 5-6 mana, you just have a free creature every single turn if you're already playing kind of, you know, stuff in the early game, and just try to get to the point where you have so many constructs that you're winning the game. So like an aristocrat style deck that ramps up could be really, really good with Dollhouse of Horrors. There's a lot of just fun things you can do with it. And so that's the whole point. This is a fun deck. I don't think that Dollhouse of Horrors is competitive in any way right now. There might be some sort of combo with it at some point. I don't know. But for right now, this is not quite there. It's fun. It's hilarious. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much. And bye-bye.